preseason hype show. Let's go!
Undefeated!
The Denver Broncos may never lose with Nathaniel Hackett as their head coach.
Well, they have never lost.
It's true.
Russell Wilson, too, undefeated as a Denver Bronco.
I mean, I don't know if you guys can tell. We are hyped.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Riled up.
Oh, yeah.
We're not tired. We're not, baking in this room at all.
No.
Just great vibes.
Yep.
Spring chickens.
Let's go!
All the good stuff.
Oh, man, I'm so pumped here. At 10:43 p.m. on a Saturday night, you hear three guys rowdy. You probably think that something else is going on outside of just a preseason Broncos 17-7 win, baby.
Wow. All 17 points. I cherish each and every one of them the same.
Yep.
I love them all.
Favorites.
I love them all individually.
Not the Kendall Hinton one, just a little bit more?
No. Mm-mm.
Wow.
But I don't love them as much as I love all 17 of the Cowboys penalties.
Even more. I think there was 20.
There was only 17 officially because 3 were declined.
Oh, wow.
I was so sad when they declined the last one. I wanted to be able to say they had more penalties than the Broncos had points.
Yikes.
Yeah.
The Cowboys.
The Cowboys, bad? Are they bad?
No. I don't know. I don't know.
Clapped on
I don't-
Thursday.
Yeah, I don't want to defend the Cowboys here, but I think there's a little overreaction to a team being bad when they didn't play their starters.
No, I know. I was mostly basing the fact that they were bad on Thursday and then horrific today.
Mike McCarthy should be fired. Fired now. I remember a couple of years ago we joked about Vance Joseph being fired after coaching the Senior Bowl because how do you lose when you have the best quarterbacks in the Senior Bowl?
And I told you I recently heard a scoop that the Broncos front office was legitimately freaking out over that Senior Bowl game.
As they should have been. Yeah, and a sign of things to come. John was like, shit, I shouldn't have slept on the decision.
That's legitimately what was happening.
On the decision. There should be similar conversations with Jerry Jones right now in Dallas.
I love this. I want to pile on the Cowboys so bad. But I'm sure the people are here to hear about the Broncos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so
there's probably a few people here to Dallas slander.
There was legitimate things to note and be excited about. I actually went new school with my notes tonight because I could have my laptop on my lap. So I'm I'm going to take notes on my laptop. I will say that is better than writing them down.
And then how is it just having them in your phone right now?
It's nice.
You're just scrolling one hand right now.
Yeah, I mean,
don't even give me the high raised voice. It's nice.
It's all right. It's all right. But there was things to note tonight, and some guys stood out. A lot to discuss, honestly. So let's start here. I want to go preseason is all about overreactions, just like us. We just fired Mike McCarthy.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's start. We'll start here. I want your biggest positive overreaction of the night, Zach.
Mike McCarthy is going to make a great babysitter for Nathaniel Hackett's kids. No, but seriously, Josh Johnson's a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Oh, there you
go. But seriously, Baron Browning can flat out play. And I know
he
today
can play a lot of plays.
Yes, too many plays. I'll tell you what. But I actually think tonight them playing him so many plays was kind of goes against the grain of what you think when you see a player playing a full game. I think it was them saying, we know Barron can play, and we want to get him ready to play week 1 and potentially be the starter. So I think that's what they were doing there. You kind of make a scared noise. I agree with you, Ryan. I wouldn't have done it either, but sometimes you're like, why is this guy playing so much when, 1, we know he's good, which we knew about Baron Browning coming into this, and 2, he's actually balling in the game, too. He's done everything he needs to. Then you're like, is there something going on behind the scenes? Is a little bit of a punishment, a little bit of an embarrassment? No, I think it's the complete opposite. It's they know he's going to be a baller. He does not have a lot of reps at outside linebacker, so they want to get him as many reps as possible.
Totally. And that's my overreaction, too, the positive one.
Hold on. Both of you are coming in way too soft with these overreactions. Baron Browning can play is not an overreaction. That's just a fact.
We've never seen it in a game at outside linebacker.
It's true. I think the overreaction is Baron Browning over 5 sacks.
For the season?
That's overreaction?
Yeah,
that's an underreaction.
That's
what the
you're
hell?
coming in weak.
You're telling us that's when he came
weak?
back?
Yeah.
So, okay, all right. So give me a number.
Overreaction is 10. Overreaction is a Pro Bowl.
Okay, see, now you're overreacting.
That is an
This is what I had to do to pull it out of you guys.
But no. I already gave you 2 overreactions.
What did you think we were saying?
I mean, so you're saying starting outside linebacker.
Randy
That's
Gregory.
what I thought a week ago.
So 5 sacks for a backup outside linebacker is a great season.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
He'll get his time, though. Like, I feel like what we were saying is probably at least 5.
Here's the thing. It all depends on Malik Reed. Are the Broncos trading him?
No.
Then he's 4th on the depth chart right now when Randy Gregory's healthy.
Okay, and that's where I'm saying, like, 5 sacks would be really good, I think.
Yeah, really good. I wouldn't say that's an overreaction.
Okay.
We're just going to beat each
Henry,
other's overreactions
yeah, exactly.
down.
Henry, you want to
Baron Browning is
better?
the child of God. He's the next coming of Jesus, and
Wow.
I don't know. There we go. We got that part out
You
of the
sound
way.
like Antonio Brown, yeah.
yeah. Now that's out of the way. He's so good. Like that first play, he got into the backfield.
Yeah.
Like it's just this. It was like
Set
an
the tone.
inside zone run, and he just came around the outside and stopped it.
Yep.
Like a tackle for loss there. He had the sack. He's living in the backfield. And weird that he played as much as he did. That was a total surprise. And I mean, it would have been nice if they pulled him at halftime because, as you pointed out, the second half, not quite as good as the first half. At least not as notable. But he was doing everything you could want. And I don't know. I've talked myself into him playing that whole game because the truth is he is a very inexperienced linebacker who played third downs outside in college and didn't play any outside last year, for the most part, I guess. So why not? Why not give him all those reps?
Okay. My positive overreaction is that this offense is going to be awesome. And maybe is that not overreacting enough?
I think that's just a ridiculous reaction since you had 2 starters play.
I know, and that's exactly why it's an overreaction because I'm using simply play calls for my whole reaction here, and that's why it's an overreaction. But I really love the way that Nathaniel Hackett designs pass plays. I think that it is innovative. It makes sense. There's guys running wide open, and I realize that happens a lot easier against 2s. But I saw several plays out there tonight that I was like, that is a purposefully designed offensive play call that makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah.
And that shouldn't be something that gets me so fired up, but it has been a while since I've been able to say that. So, Nathaniel Hackett, in the same way that Josh Johnson, king of the game, got in a rhythm, and we can bring that up here in a second, Nathaniel Hackett got in a rhythm at one point, and he was just like, bang, 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 great play call, open receiver. And I thought it was really cool to see those two together adjust to each other and get hot. And it was just like, oh, I'm seeing things that aren't on the field right now, but I'm imagining these moments like, oh, Russell Wilson has completed 13 straight passes, those things coming together because of the way that I thought Nathaniel Hackett really got into a rhythm there in the second quarter.
Okay, and I'll give you another one. Kendall Hinton is the Tim Patrick replacement.
Oh.
And obviously he's not his size, but he is going to be Mr. Reliable. I know he didn't catch one of them today, but the touchdown he had was great. He had some other catches which were really good. And these quarterbacks, especially Russell Wilson, what I've seen this past week, are going to trust him to be the guy to catch the ball on 3rd and 7. They're going to turn to him. Now, is he going to make the incredible routes like Jerry Jeudy? No. Is he going to make the incredible Moss catches like Cortland Sutton? No, but you'd never looked at Tim to be the guy that would make the most wow play. Now, Tim would come up with those occasionally. We saw it against the Dallas Cowboys last year in the regular season, but Kendall Hinton not only going to make the team, but he's a Tim Patrick replacement this year.
I like that.
A couple of drops during camp scare me a little.
Me too. I'll go in the receiver room as well. Jalen Virgil makes the team.
Jalen Virgil.
As my overreaction. Again,
Yeah,
overreaction.
That is an overreaction.
The thing is, I feel like he didn't even separate himself. Because Brandon Johnson was out there making ridiculous plays.
It's true.
Seth Williams was out there with the big touchdown and the other stuff.
Loved
I
that.
felt like maybe a couple of guys came out of the competition to make the roster, but I don't think anybody at the top Except for Kendall Hinton, who is already kind of in a different category. I don't think anybody else really separated from the rest.
Okay, how about this for an
I just think the
overreaction,
combination of speed and athleticism is what separates Jalen Virgil from me. But again, he was the last one out there, so there's a reason. He's catching passes in the fourth quarter, whereas Brandon Johnson's doing it in the second.
How about this? George Payton flips 2 receivers for day 3 picks.
Okay, there we go. All right, again, all overreactions, and I definitely want you guys to know this when I say this one. I want to get your guys' negative overreaction to the game, and I hate to do this, but I'll start. The Broncos could be in trouble at inside linebacker. And it's so weird to me that, and I'll actually come back off this overreaction in a second here, but it's so weird to me that you were so cautious with everyone, save for Baron Browning, and then you brought out Jonas Griffith at a position where I don't necessarily think you can love your depth. And I get it. He's young. He's inexperienced. He's going to be was probably going to be a starter for the first time. That makes sense to me. At the same time, it's like, don't you look at him as one of those guys that you can't really afford to be losing? That's how I would look at it. That being said, 2 guys who made my notes, Alex Singleton and Justin Cernat, both of those guys looked really good coming in at the linebacker position, and so that helps me a little bit. But I feel like that was maybe Nathaniel Hackett's first mistake as head coach, was playing Jonas Griffith.
Well, what's unfortunate, after the game, he told KOA that he just wanted to see Jonas get a couple of snaps, which is honestly kind of even worse than Baron Browning sending him out there, because in literally those couple of snaps, he dislocates his elbow, and that does not sound like something that he's going to be able to come back quickly from. We'll get more of a timeline in the next couple of days, but that's brutal.
That is, that's just a weird one to even think about. Dislocated shoulder, you hear all the time. Dislocated elbows, nothing would surprise
so painful,
me.
and he looked like he was in a lot of pain.
Yeah, Derek Wolf, who's now very active on Twitter, said that's a brutal injury. And if Derek's saying it's brutal, it's probably pretty painful.
Derek retweeting people about how he needs to be on more podcasts. So
a
couple of weeks from now, we'll have our 4-man set back. And
I was going to say, Henry, we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Derek's going to take that seat.
I'm the one you'd want to talk to anyway.
Wow.
My negative overreaction.
What'd you say? You don't want to talk to me?
My negative overreaction is that Rodney Williams is getting cut.
Who?
Wow, the disrespect to the poor man.
Yeah.
So everybody's in the tunnel. They're getting ready to run out.
God.
Russell's out at the front. He's running out. Rodney Williams just runs 3 steps out in front of Russ and leads the entire team out. You don't do that.
No, I say he makes the team because of that.
Wow.
Russ respects the hustle, the extra effort put in. You know Russ. Come on, he respects that.
Did he realize he effed up?
No, he went full speed the whole time.
Yeah,
he just ran in front of Russell Wilson.
Yep.
Russell Wilson
ahead of number 3.
There was a 4-yard gap right there, and a 2-yard gap behind Russell Wilson and everybody else. And
oh no,
you don't do that. You don't do that. More realistically, though, the running game was really, really bad. It was unbelievably bad. And again, it probably doesn't matter. And one of the good things about preseason is that you can kind of spin everything to be awesome. Look at all the big plays the offense made. Those are going to continue. And it's the running game sucks, but they have their 2 running backs and they don't have their linemen. And you're not going to use those same receivers in the quarterback anyway. So it is kind of does it really matter? Does any of this really matter when you have 4 different blockers and Javonte Williams and Melvin Gordon? Probably not. Albert O blowing that block, the massive blown block that I think was on a 3rd down, that stands out. That's something that is concerning going forward. But, 40 rushing yards. That sucks.
It's so much worse when you look at the stats, because Stevie Scott ends up leading the team in rushing, but remember, he pretty much only played in the 4th quarter, so that is the worst players on the field for the already bad Dallas Cowboys. Look at the numbers for anyone who played before that.
Oh yeah,
Jaquan Hardy 5 for 13, Max Borghi 4 for 10. Josh Johnson. I was like, who's Jay Johnson running back? 1 for 3. Mike Boone, 3 for -1.
That's your guy, Ryan.
Mike Flaccid.
Wow.
Brett Rippon, 2 for -2. Montrell Washington,
at 11 p.m. on a Saturday night.
1 for -4 and a mouthful of grass on that play.
Yeah. At one point, the Broncos ran 11 times for 9 yards.
I mean, there's
8 yards per
almost
carry.
as many players in negative yards rushing as there are in positive yards rushing. It was brutal. That being said, it makes it almost even more impressive that they were able to get the passing game going with absolutely no threat of the run. And it's an old Sean McVay-ism, which is like you don't actually have to be able to run the ball well for play action to work.
Yeah.
And it did.
Yeah, it certainly did. And that is one thing that Nathaniel Hackett was very frustrated about after the game. When he was on KOA after the game, he was asked, give me your biggest takeaways. That was the first question. The very first thing he said was the running game has to be much better. Then in his press conference after the game, he harped on that as well. And Nathaniel Hackett was maybe the most upset. He wasn't upset, but the least happy he's ever been after this game. This was after his first NFL win.
Scary.
I know it was a preseason game, but 17-7, an absolute dominant game from his team. And I think the only negative was, one, the injury to Jonas Griffith, and two, the running game just couldn't get anything going. And he was playing one starter at right tackle. So this is something that clearly really bothered him. And so to me, that's also my overreaction, is I'm scared about this running game because Nathaniel Hackett's scared about it. He could have easily said, we need to do more in the running game. But to me, that points to these guys aren't picking up the scheme quick enough, and then when it comes to an actual game, it's not translating to the field. Now, you hope that your starters who have gotten a lot more reps than the backups are able to learn it a lot quicker and are already way ahead of these guys, but that is something that really scares me right now, because in a real game, when you're playing a real defense, not until week 3 of the season against the 49ers, that is going to be a huge issue. If you have Nick Bosa and that 49ers front rushing the passer and they can just pin their ears back because they don't have to worry about the run. Now, it's obviously a big overreaction. You only played 2 starters on offense, 2 starters on defense. Another overreaction is a guy that Henry mentioned, Alberto. I want to like him and cheer for him so much because he's a great guy. The talent as a receiver is there. But man, he got so much blame last year for one of Melvin Gordon's fumbles because he just totally whiffed on a guy and allowed that Melvin to get hit right when he got the handoff. And then again today, when he has just what should be a fairly easy block, he doesn't have to punish a guy. All he has to do is get in his exactly.
It's on the backside of a fourth down run.
Exactly, and he wasn't able to, and it just is so frustrating because I know Nathaniel Hackett has been pounding him for it, and we heard Russell Wilson say just a couple days ago that he's been extra hard on Alberto this offseason to try to get him better, and then you put on the game film and this happens. I feel bad for him, but he has to be better in the run game.
And that was the play action pass, right? Or was it a run?
Today it was a run.
Okay. It's like it reminds me of like this is gonna sound overly harsh, but it reminds me of like the first day of football practice, like ever for like kids, when they go to tackle and like they just put their head completely down and like the runner can just like step out of the way, and you take your eyes off the target and the target moves and you're in trouble.
Yep.
And it's like that. It's almost that's what these plays look like on film. Is like he just didn't even see him and they just sidestepped him and went right through. He's got again that play is just get in their way.
It's
like,
terrifying.
You could like set a pick like a basketball,
like
and it works.
At this point, you have to hope that before the play he thought, well, they're running the other way. My block doesn't really matter, so I'm not really going to try here. Because
so bad.
But you have to hope that that's what it is, because
Not
it's either
just
that or he's like, oh, I've got to go
incompetence.
block this guy, and that's what happened. And I really do think that he is trying. It's just not working. And at some point, it's like, why would it work in the future if it hasn't yet? Like, how much can you really practice just blocking a guy? Because he's been a tight end for years.
Yeah.
And that's just it's going to decrease his playing opportunities in the regular season. They're going to feel a lot more comfortable putting Eric Tomlinson.
Gonna say my boy 1 for 17. Let's go.
Yep.
Dude, did you see his picture on the broadcast?
With the beard?
It's epic. He looks
Really?
100% like an offensive lineman. Like he has full on the same exact face as an offensive lineman in those pictures.
Yeah. So overreaction. He has more catches this year than he did last year,
For sure.
which was 1.
Yeah, he's got that. He'll have that beat week 1.
Potentially, not play 1 though.
No, well, yeah, maybe.
No. You even said it. You're just like, no.
Well, that's because I think play 1's a run. I'm not I'll be the least overreactionary about the run game. I just don't think any of that matters. All of those guys are scrubs. Sorry.
Hopefully not Calvin
except for
Henderson.
Calvin Henderson, hopefully.
Yeah.
And even the running back, like you're getting backup running backs for almost the entire game. You don't like to see Mike Boone have a long carry of 2. But
And the drop.
and the long carry of everyone is 6, which is just abysmal.
Mm-hmm.
But it really just doesn't matter. Like the name's on there. I mean, most people had never even heard of Jaquan Hardy until I said his name reading it on here.
Yeah.
Or
Stevie Scott was mine. That was the one where I was like, oh, his first name was Stevie. I should have known that probably.
Yeah, his name sticks out to me for some reason.
And here we go. Jonas Griffith, according to Mike Kliss, is going to miss 4 to 6 weeks. So not great, but not as bad as it could have looked.
3?
Yeah, so
At worst.
likely missing the first week of the season. Could be back
That's
though.
okay.
I mean,
That's
the season
exactly 4
starts.
weeks.
The season starts in 1 month and minus 1 day. How would you say that? Why am I missing?
I don't think there's a word for that.
29
30 days.
Yeah. That's kind of best case scenario, I would say.
Yeah, it honestly is for how bad it looked and how much pain he was in and a dislocated elbow.
Yeah, exactly. When I saw it, I just instantly started thinking like, what happened to Josie last year, or just any of that stuff. I was just like, what could it be? What could it be? And here's the other thing that I'll go positive spin zone on is like his whole game is athleticism. This doesn't hurt his athleticism in any way. Like you worry about ankles and knees and all that stuff for guys who are just freak athletes. You worry. The one worry would be like, is it hurt his tackling ability?
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Which is important.
It is important.
Yeah.
And
But it
he is
doesn't
somebody
take
you'd
away
like
his
to
strength.
get reps for
Yep.
during, like in the preseason games, also in practice.
Definitely.
You don't like just throwing him in.
And Coach Baron Browning has got all the reps he needs. Let's just let's learn from the Jonas. He got all the reps today. He stayed healthy. Sideline him.
All right,
Rest
let's.
of the
It,
preseason.
yeah, it is one of those things though where you think about it, it's like, okay, so what half the guys on the team at some point in the season wind up with an injury that keeps them out of a game or a couple games or whatever. So that means like it happens to 50% of them over the course of 17 games. And it's like, okay, you're playing 4 games now. Like the odds are that it's just this weird thing where in the preseason you
what are
see
you
Baron
saying
Browning,
right now?
you see Baron Browning in there for like a full game, and you're just like, oh, here comes, he's about to get hurt. Oh, you can't leave him in there. Like, oh no, what's it? But realistically, like the odds of him getting hurt are so slim.
Did you see Jonas Griffith? On
I
the
know,
second
I
play,
know.
Henry.
I
Two
mean, that's
people did.
essentially like what
There were
happened to
two.
Jonas Griffith is like essentially like winning a slot machine on your first try.
No. Did you see what happened to Zach Wilson last night?
I know those are just, but that like it is bound to happen over the course of a season. But the fact that it happens in your second play of the season
Yeah.
is like, it's like it's an extremely rare event for it to happen in that.
Like it
moment.
happened. It happened to 2 players in that game. OJ Moody came out fine.
But the thing is, and Darius Turner-Yell is being evaluated for a concussion as well.
Darius Turner, yeah. Close.
We'll learn it later.
Darian, yes,
Delirious.
Delirious, yes. And
You're delirious.
the thing though is, wait, what was I? Oh, is these games don't matter. There's a difference with an
True.
injury
Yes.
happening in preseason as opposed to week 1. If this injury were to be week 1, the second play, it'd be
No.
like, man, that stinks. But what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
These are ones that you can prevent.
The Baron Browning thing, and I don't know. I feel like we're down on things right now, but I guess it's easier to point out some of the like small little things that were bad rather than pointing out like Jalen Virgil was awesome. We already did that actually, but I hated the Baron Browning thing.
Oh yeah.
I
Hated
just
every
could
second
not
of it.
believe late in the
Yeah.
fourth quarter.
Well, when he
still
got
playing.
hurt on the punt is when I was like, okay, they've finally realized this is insane. Get him out of the game. I thought for sure I knew he was fine. Like I saw some serious panic on Twitter about him being banged up on that punt, but I was like, this has to be it. Like he's limping off the field. They have to be like, okay, well, let's come to our senses here a little bit. And then they played him like damn near to the last down of the game. I'm just like, what is going on here? Was he late for curfew and his punishment was he had to play the whole game?
That's what
Like
it felt like.
it was wild. It was insane to me. And it does. I have to be honest. I'm a little bit on the other side of it as you guys. it tells me that they don't view him as a make or break piece of the team.
Totally. Like, I think there's a good chance he played more snaps tonight than he will in the first half of the season.
Total?
Yeah, I mean, 8 games. If he played, 60 snaps? 50? Somewhere at 50-60 range. You're talking about 8 a game, in those pass rush sets. That'd be kind of
I'll throw a pizza bet down on that.
Yeah, I'd take the over. But I don't think it's that far off. Like, you're in that ballpark.
I would say maybe
and if
the
you want to
first
get him
4
reps, 4 easily.
It's all going to depend on Randy Gregory.
Yeah, for sure.
And his health. And something that I would die for right now is a cold Breckenridge beer because we are burning up in here. And I'll tell you what, it was burning up at the tailgate earlier, and the Breckenridge beers were flowing in the ice baths that they were in. People were crushing them. I mean, we had all different types of Breckenridge beers, and you can get those at the DNVR tailgate, all you can drink. And then, of course, if you aren't able to make the tailgate, you got to get yourself some Breck beers for all the preseason football that's going on, because preseason football is definitely something you need to drink with. So check out breckbeer.com. Find out their Breck beer locator on their website to get beers, whether you're in Denver, whether you're around the country.
Yeah, you mentioned the tailgate. And my God, it was sick. Like, I'll be honest, I had low expectations for just like what the vibes would be at a preseason tailgate. Just in the same way, like if you were going to the game, you have low expectations for what the vibe will be in the stadium. And we took care of our part. Like, the vibes at the tailgate were insane. So many people came through. It felt like a regular season party there. And obviously, there's going to be a big jump between what this is and our actual regular season parties. But like, the DJ set was sweet. We had the music blaring. Like, everyone's having a good time. The new cornhole boards they were being used for every second of the entire tailgate, which is awesome. The food from Mile High Sliders. Like, I'm hungry right now. I wish I had like 14 more Mile High Sliders to go in on right now. And of course, the Breck brews were great. The Breck Distillery whiskey that we had was great. Like, it was just, I've been telling you guys how I'm like full on football fiend right now. And this like put me in an incredible place. Like, it was like Happy Gilmore closing his eyes and like going to the spot. That was me showing up to the tailgate today. It was awesome. So make sure you sign up for the next tailgate. We have one more preseason, of course, and then the regular season comes around, and those tailgates are going to pop off. We can't wait to see you guys.
And next preseason one, really quick, is another night game, and this one was successful, so you know that one's going to be.
Oof.
I took a lap around the stadium, like inside the stadium, because there's nothing you can do work-wise in there. It turns out it's not like college football. You can't like take pictures and videos, and there's just nothing. Points, I took like a lap around. I was standing on a ramp, just like one of the ramps on the edge of the stadium. I could hear the music from the tailgate.
Oh, maybe don't tell people that.
I was like, there's a tailgate. And I was like, wait a minute. That's not the music from inside the stadium. That's the tailgate music.
Oh, you know what I heard during that time?
Huh.
I heard your bag just sitting on my desk.
Was it sitting there loudly?
Oh, it was sitting there for so long.
Next time, Hank's going to drop his
sweat.
bag on your desk, if you know what I'm saying.
Damn right. Damn right. While I'm dancing to the tailgate music in the press box. Also, okay, I forgot to look.
Another rookie move.
Yeah.
Right?
So I needed to make sure that I got the music story in. That's what's most important.
That's not what's most important.
Is it the American Raptors that's
It
most
is.
important?
There we go.
Wow,
baby.
more important than the tailgate. They've got an awesome tournament that's going on this weekend. It starts August 19th. It goes through the 21st. It's out there in Glendale at Infinity Park. It is the annual Rugby Town Sevens tournament. This is the 10th year they've done it. They've got teams from all around the world. They're competing to take home a $10,000 prize. It's really great stuff. And there's a free arcade. There's food from a bunch of different food trucks. And like I said, 20 teams from around the world. So go on over to the Raptors website, AmericanRaptors.com, and you can pick up some free tickets. It'll be a good time.
Hell yeah. I know I haven't explained this on a post-game show yet, but we don't currently have a monitor, so we can't see all of your comments, but I want to let you guys know that we love seeing all the interaction in there. I'm looking over Kale's shoulder on the computer. It looks like a lot of activity. So if you guys want to get your questions read, especially super chats we'll get to in the third segment, but we'll pop into a couple other questions on there as well. Before that, though, I want to do a stock report. So let's get out our box scores or rosters.
That's our sound effect for stock report.
Gosh,
You know,
you're
That
just
sounds
like
like a
up,
spaceship door
trending
opening
down.
and closing.
No, it's the old little thing.
Oh, those are before my time. But I do know what you're talking about. Yeah.
That's a children's stock report.
What is that thing? Would you call that a toy?
I don't even know how you Google it.
It's a noisemaker. It's a
What's the
noisemaker.
thing that
How do
says
you make this
whoop?
sound? How do you spell that?
yeah. How do you make the sound whoop when you turn it upside down? What's
Oh
that
man,
thing?
I would kill to just have one of those.
It's not a kazoo, but I think it's something that sounds like kazoo. I think so.
If anyone knows what the
You're singing
toy, it's not a toy. It's a
Shouldn't
noise
Kale
maker.
know this?
Kale?
He is the
He's like our
musical guy.
instrument guy.
I'm just reading comments, trying to set them aside right now. Sorry.
All right.
Can you at least think of a way to Google what's the thing that says ooh ooh when you put it upside down?
Gosh, I want to hear one of that. Like, I want to hear a real one really bad right now. All right, let's jump into the stock report and go through here. I'm just gonna go through.
Oh, the chat got us. It's called a slide whistle.
No, it's not though. It's very similar.
Oh, the slide whistle is the one that you have to pull.
Yes.
This one
But-
just goes
but
on its
that's-
own.
It does make a very similar sound.
It does.
This one you just turn, kind of like a rain stick.
Right.
Love a good rain stick too.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a rain stick in forever. I gotta get one of those.
All right.
Wait, can I start off with our stock report?
Ooh, yes.
So I guess.
2 votes
you,
for Zach.
You guess. I've got to give our stock report, our first stock report, to our king of the game, our DraftKings
All right,
Sportsbook.
that's where I was gonna start.
King of the game starts with Josh Johnson, number 11. JJ coming through in this game. He finishes 16 of 23 for 172 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 120.2 passer rating. But what was more impressive is he finished 13 of 14 with 2 touchdowns. He started the first quarter really bad. 3 punts, I believe. And then in the second quarter, he comes out 2 touchdowns and a field goal with no time left. Really moves the ball downfield. And guys, this backup quarterback thing is done. Josh Johnson's your backup.
That could have been a good overreaction.
But it's not. It's not an overreaction.
Yeah,
it's
that's
just
true.
a reaction.
It
in-
did
in
feel
my
that way,
mind.
and it's crazy because that's not how it has looked in camp, but it was pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Henry, did you find
Real
out what
quick.
it's called?
No, but there's a comment. Oh, you're talking about a floozle droop. Google the floozle droop. Not a real thing.
I love that you fell for it.
Yeah.
It's so good.
A floozle droop.
One quick note on King of the Game. Earlier tonight, Kale and I were brought back to a dark time.
Oh, yikes.
Because Kale opened up the King of the Game graphic template. And of course, it has the last one that he made in there. And Kale just looks to me and goes, "Bro, last King of the Game from week 18 of last year was Drew Lock, who went 12 for 24, 162 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions.
King of the game.
He did have 1 rushing touchdown.
That is so brutal in every way. And speaking of Drew Lock, he went out, had 2 touchdowns today, 2 fumbles, and I saw Pete Carroll's quote after the game, and it couldn't
Threw him under the
have
bus.
been more Vic Fangio-like. When talking about the 2 quarterbacks, because they're in a quarterback debate, when talking about Geno Smith, he gave Geno, excuses. Like, oh, this guy should have caught a pass. Geno
Did he
should
compare
have
him to
been
Tom Brady by any chance?
Close. He's like, Geno should have been 10 for 10 or whatever it was, but these 2 guys let him down. And Drew Lock, the offense moved the ball and helped him move the ball down the field.
Wow. Did you see what he said? Well, did you see what happened
No.
in the game?
No, the fumble at the end, right?
Okay, yeah. So
I just heard about it.
Drew has a chance. It's like one of those things where the announcer totally jinxed him.
Oh, no.
Drew gets the ball in his hands like right around the 50 with a chance to get 15 yards and win the game.
Yeah.
With a little over a minute left, and the announcer's like, and here comes Drew Lock with a chance to lock up a win. And within seconds, he just gets smashed from behind, fumbles
no.
it. Kenny Pickett, did you see that?
No.
Walk-off touchdown.
Wow.
Yeah, they could have kicked the field goal. They decided to throw one more pass, and he throws a little out route.
That's baller.
And they turn up field and score with 2 seconds left.
Was it in Pittsburgh?
I don't know. Good question.
Okay.
I think so. Yes, I learned how to say this today. Acrisure?
There you go.
This whole time I thought it was a Kreischer. Anyways.
It was a crisis for Drew.
Back to the Broncos. we've got out of the dark ages with
Yes,
that one. I don't think we're gonna see any
goodness.
king of the games
Thank
with 12
goodness.
completions this year.
No.
All right, moving on in the stock report.
This king of the game had 13 completions, so.
There you go.
No, 16. Sorry.
Yeah, yep. 13 in a row at one point.
Yeah, exactly.
Stock report, Brett Rippon.
Down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's down, but it's mostly because of Josh Johnson.
Yeah, but he didn't look great. I mean,
No.
I'm realizing now, going through my head in camp, he throws one really good thing, and it's the 9 round.
Yep.
And he's actually really good at it. Like, he hit 2 of them tonight, at least. And it's nice to see those, but like in a camp, those really stand out, right? Oh, big play, flash play. But he struggled with a lot of the stuff, especially when they heated him up in the pocket. Like the one that he missed Trey Quinn, and it was like almost a diving interception. Yep. Trey Quinn is coming out of his break on a corner route, and he is walking into the end zone if you lead him on that throw. But Brett is like kind of off his back foot, just a hair, and throws it 6 yards short of where it needed to be. And it's just like one of the he needed to show out, especially against lower competition, and he didn't do great.
I mean, speaking of Drew Lock, the backup quarterback competition is exactly like last year's starting quarterback competition. Brett Rippon does one thing that has been really good this training camp is the deep ball. Drew Lock would flash with his plays in training camp last year, but just like Drew last year, Brett has to be so much better than Josh Johnson to take over this job. And with the way tonight went, no, this is Josh Johnson's job.
Yeah, 8 for 18 for Brett. That looks bad on the stat sheet.
And 0 points.
Yeah.
0 points. They had 17 at half with
Did
Josh.
have he almost started off with a 99-yard touchdown drive.
He did.
But even then, back-to-back interceptable balls on 3rd and 4th down.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And they were both just late.
Yep.
Or I guess the 3rd down one. No, that wasn't a near pick. That was the one that he threw behind whoever the running back was at the time, and he just missed him. But back-to-back late throws that cost them points, and it was just like things like that built up. All right, let's move on. Can I just say all running back stock down?
Yep. 100%.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
No one even had a play where I said, "Oh, nice play."
Nope. Josh Johnson's run was maybe the best.
Yes.
Jaquan Hardy came so close to having one on that screen pass, then for some reason just took a hard right turn. And you're just like, well, wait, why didn't you just go to the end zone?
His blockers going left with 2 big guys blocking 2 small guys, and he just dips to the right to go out of bounds.
It's like, okay, we're taking a hard right turn right here. Like,
that
okay.
was bad vision.
That's tough. All right, let's go through some more offensive players here with receivers. Jalen Virgil,
Up.
Pretty
much every wide receiver up.
Brandon Johnson, stock up. Kendall Hinton, stock up. Seth Williams, we didn't talk a lot about his touchdown in the first segment. That was nice. Just all sides of the play. The design, the throw, the jump, the catch, the hold on to it as he hits the ground. Like 10 out of 10 play.
Yep. It was really good. And it was good to see him step up because if anyone's going to be the Tim Patrick size replacement, it's him.
Totally.
I'll actually give one stock down, Travis Fulgham. He was kind of trending up, I thought, over the last week. And 1 catch for 11 today. He had another one where he was targeted, I remember. I think it was a deep ball that just wasn't there. But other than that, I didn't think he stood out at all.
One more guy that really stood out from the wide receiver room, but not necessarily for his receiving abilities, is Montrell Washington. Boy, is it nice and refreshing to see a punt returner because he's going to do that against the starters too. We saw him take an 18-yard return at first, and it honestly, he makes it so easy. It's like, dang, that was a nice 10-yard return. Then you're like, oh, shit. That was 18 yards. Yeah. Really impressive. And then the next one for 27 yards, and he's just slippery as a returner, and that's what the great ones have. And it never at one point was I like, no, what are you doing, Montrell? Like he starts off by running 5 yards backward, or he bobbles the ball. No, I felt comfortable with him the whole time.
Yep, totally. Special teams wise, Corliss Waitman had the 34-yard punt to the 21.
Yeah,
and those are the things you can't do as a punter,
especially because Sam Martin had an absolute boom at one point.
Yep.
I believe 52-yarder on his first one.
Yep. 52 and 49 on his 2 punts.
Tough day for the Corliss crew.
Yeah, it is. You're going to be waiting a while.
I don't think so, though. They're not going to end this thing prematurely.
No,
No.
they won't. So I
But
said you're going to be waiting a while.
It wasn't great. Anyone
not
else
a while.
here? I'm just looking to see if there's anyone else that needed to be
We going trending up
noted
right now?
on the offense. Eric Tomlinson, of course, stock way up.
Yep.
Um,
He caught a football.
yes, he did. Great route too. Just sat right there in the middle of that
Yep.
zone, turned, ran. Wow. I love Eric Tomlinson.
How about this? Game management going up, trending in the right direction. At the end of the first half, after Baron Browning had a sack, Nathaniel Hackett quickly called a timeout, which then allowed the Broncos to get time at the end of the first half in order to make that trip down the field, in order to get a field goal. Nathaniel
Our
Hackett
bar
was
is so low.
Yes,
I know.
exactly. Nathaniel Hackett was talking about it after the game, and he said that's exactly what we're going to steal possessions anytime we can, and I love that
yeah.
because
What a concept.
for Denver it has.
I know.
been. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm mostly making that an indictment of the previous coaching staff.
Yeah.
Totally. And it's like,
Snaps.
can we even call that stock up? Like a young, smart coach? Like,
Yes, it
that's
is because-
expected of him.
because
Yeah.
the game management was low,
Yeah.
so that stock
Yeah.
is going up.
Yeah.
It's trending up. All right, let's move on to the defensive side of the ball.
And we're doing up and down for defense.
Yes.
Okay.
Where to start here?
We've already mentioned Baron Browning. Obviously, his stock is going up. I'm also going to go stock up for PJ Locke. I absolutely loved what I saw from PJ on that interception. Not just that he made a play on the interception, but that the read was fantastic because he situational awareness too. He knew exactly where the sticks were, and he knew that this wide receiver was going short. I mean, before the quarterback threw the ball, he was already in position, just waiting for the ball to be there. How many times do we see, whether it's third, fourth down, and it's 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, and the guy's playing 3 yards off the line of scrimmage, and then he goes back 6 yards, and it's like, dude, they're
What
going to
the
throw
hell?
it
Yeah.
2 yards, and now you gave him 6-yard cushion. No, PJ Locke did not do that. He's just continued to ball, and I love seeing it in a game.
And
I'm
he went on KOA afterward too, and said, "Yep, we knew what play was coming." Susie Wardron was like, "Yeah, I was standing behind Justin Simmons on the sideline." He was just yelling, "Read him like a book, read him like a book," because they knew that was exactly the play that they were going to run. Took it away. Like,
That's why you watch
love it.
film before you play teams.
Yeah, Kyler.
Again, another just novel concept. Speaking of just like great awareness, understanding plays, understanding things. With Kale as my witness, right before they snapped the ball, I said, "Watch the slot out," and that's what they ran, and they picked it off. So
Can
you know.
confirm. He
Thank
did
you,
say
thank
that.
you, thank
Wow.
you. It was a little Tony Romo moment for me. But I mean, it's so true, Zach. So many times you can feel that coming, and then it's just there because they're like afraid to get beat deep or whatever it is. Like you give that extra cushion.
Yep.
I think back to, man, was it 2 playoffs ago? Maybe even more than that, where Patrick Mahomes got injured in a playoff game, and so they had the backup in, like Chad Henne.
Yep.
And they went for it on that 4th down to
Yep.
seal the game, and it was like, how are you not thinking the play right at the sticks?
Yep.
It's almost the same exact play.
Yep.
So great job by PJ. Justin Sternad, I thought he was impressive. He got washed out a couple times in the run game, which is like his weakness, right? It's the one thing that popped up so much in that Browns game. But other than that, I thought he was really, really good in the open field. He had 3 or 4 great open field tackles. There was one on a screen where like he was the only one there. He's the only person who didn't get blocked, and if he doesn't make that play, that screen is breaking off big. He made that one. There was like a little zig route that he on the backside of a play action fake where he was like originally beat but caught up, got the ankles to stop the guy from getting a first down. So I thought his stock was up, and you know, this is a guy who played a lot tonight. And I think it was one of those opportunities where the coach was like, "Hey, you're going to get a lot of snaps tonight. Like, what do you got?" And I thought he showed out pretty well.
Second most tackles.
Yep.
Matt Henningsen also had
Yes.
another really good game. I mean, he's a guy that really helped PJ Locke get that interception because
Yep.
he was in the backfield right away. Now, he did go unblocked, so it was still a good job of pursuit from him, and this guy's had a fantastic past week. He's done great in practices and outperforming. Again, he's a guy that we didn't have him originally when we did this 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, making the roster. He's a
love
guy
this.
that's now sliding up in there.
He's yeah, he might be in.
Totally.
Yeah?
Yeah. And I mean,
He'll
maybe
probably
a
be
minute
that like
left.
inactive guy, you
Yeah.
know, makes the roster and is inactive on
Yeah.
most Sundays as long as they're healthy. But wow, to go from, I'm telling you, if you would have asked me after the first week of camp, like, what do you think of Matt Henningsen? I would have said, I have
Who?
not seen him do a single thing. And now, over the last week and a half,
He's choking you up.
I'm bringing tears to my eyes. It's been really awesome to see him just blossom out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And making, you know, TFLs in practice, sacks, pressures, and then to see it come out on the field for him today was cool to see.
Yeah, I mean, his stock is just shooting to the moon right now.
They could have given him
Because
the
he's like an astrophysicist.
That
yeah,
was
yeah,
a big stretch.
Hennings, yeah, that. But yeah, I mean, minute left. Kongbo gets credit for the sack, but he was right there too. They maybe should have split that one.
He couldn't really handle the moves of Ben DiNucci. Ben DiNucci had some shifty plays.
There was
he
one
almost
mo-
had a sack like 2 plays before
exactly.
where DiNucci just shook him.
Yeah,
Yep.
man, the way Ben throws that ball is something.
It's kinda sick.
It is.
Like that one deep ball he had up the right side over Fayon Hicks. I was like, oh man, the way he made it look so
Yeah,
effortless.
yeah. he,
Would
like,
you trade
throws-
Jamar Johnson, Josh Johnson for him?
No.
No.
Good. just want to make sure we're not getting crazy.
Our decision making trending up with that
Yes.
Alex Singleton stood out to me. And he only ends up with 4 tackles. Like it wasn't, you know, that's his thing is he tackles people.
Yeah.
But he was really disruptive and just involved in damn near every play when he was on the field. There was one early where like you would never notice this if they didn't show the perfect angle of it on the broadcast, but he gets his hands up on a blitz, right, and just forces the quarterback, at the time Cooper Rush, to throw it a little bit higher to try and get it over him, and because of that, it's an incomplete pass. Like they threw it out of bounds. And it's just one of those little things where it's just like, oh, like great awareness, get up, force the quarterback to change his delivery just a little bit, and now you get an incomplete pass for it. No one necessarily gets credit for anything there. You know, it's just a standard incomplete pass, but he makes that play. There was the quarterback scramble where it looked like there was no one there to stop Cooper Rush.
Bang.
Out of nowhere, Singleton comes off his coverage and just comes in, bang, wrangles him right there. So he makes me feel comfortable about the linebacker position if you have to, you know, play him in those first couple of weeks.
Totally.
Well, he's very productive when he's played real plays too the past 2 years.
Exactly. He only got 4 tackles, but he didn't even play the whole first half. Like he would have had 10.
Yep. He's a machine.
Trending up and down at the same time, Michael Ojemudia, and it's kind of just how his year's been. He was trending so far up. I mean, trending up more than anyone on the team in the offseason, and then training camp has been a little tough on him. This game was the same way. He started off really hot. He made a great break on the ball to get a PBU, almost a pick 6 earlier in the game.
A post.
And
Tough to cover.
Yeah, and then later, he gets a pass interference. Then he gives up a long 3rd and 12 for a first down. And then he gets evaluated for a concussion. Good thing he does not have a concussion. But, I mean, just a roller coaster, right? You see it, but the consistency just isn't there.
And that's what you need as a cornerback. Like, that's what...
Consistency.
That's the point.
Yeah.
It's like, but if you just
So
leave
Pat
guys
Surtain does
all
at
alone
an
on 3rd down,
insane
it's
level.
like, we can't do this.
Yeah.
Right.
It doesn't work.
I don't know how to put this other than he's not in my trust circle. And he's not even close to being in it. Like, when I see him on the field, I worry that he's going to get beat. And I think he's got a long ways to go before he's a guy you can count on. The problem is the Broncos don't have that many options of other guys that they can count on in front of him.
Yeah, no, exactly. And so he's someone that I would not be surprised if we see play a lot in order to get just more snaps, kind of like we saw with Baron Browning. Okay, you got to play in order to get better.
I'm looking through here. No one else necessarily stood out to me one way or the other. Obviously, we can talk about, like, you know, the Aaron Patricks of the world, but I don't. Is there anyone that we haven't touched on that you guys think, you know, needed to be mentioned here? That their stock was Nick Bonito. Stock up or stock down?
Down.
Yeah.
In my opinion, because what I say, consistency is what we need to see, and I didn't see him tonight.
So here's my Nick Bonito theory. When he was out there early in the game, I thought he looked really good. And I think once he was out there with like the threes, he was playing outside of himself, he really wanted to make plays. You actually tweeted it. You said it's time for Nick Bonito to shine or something like that. And I think he read that tweet and was like, Zach's right. I do got to go out here and shine. And because of it, he kept like overextending himself a little bit. Like cardinal sin of being an edge guy. He spins inside on an outside run to his side of the field.
Right.
And it's like you literally just gave them like at least 5 yards.
Yeah.
There was a play action where he just like ran right through the tackle, like pushed him back 3 yards, tackled the running back who didn't have the ball, and you're just like, wow, you're so talented, but what the hell was that?
What are you doing?
Why did you use your talent that way?
I think it was more so the tackle and the running back are like, dude, come on. The ball is like 25 yards away and you're tackling us to the ground right now.
Yeah, so I think he really wanted to make plays later in the game, and it didn't help him in any way.
Yeah, and hopefully we see it.
You cannot jump off sides on 3rd and 15.
No, I completely agree. And that's something where I need to see it in the game, or I need to see it in, these next few practices. I need to see consistency because we know the talent's there from the tape, from being a second-round pick, and then from what we saw against the Cowboys in joint practices. But that's really he's only had one day.
Yeah, I don't know if they've talked about like this at all, but I kind of imagine him being used in the quote-unquote NASCAR package if they were to have one. It's like Shane Ray as a rookie, although he played a lot more, but like his main thing was like, okay, well, we already have Vaughn and DeMarcus and Shaq Barrett, but like let's create this fun formation that just gives you so much pass rushing ability. And I think there's a scenario where maybe you even see like a Nick Bonito, Baron Browning, Bradley Chubb package that's just in there for potentially a 3rd and 15, although if you can't trust him to not jump off sides, maybe not. But you're just like, let's bring so much speed and try and overwhelm the offense.
Yeah, absolutely, and that'd be fun. Throw Randy Gregory in there in the mix, hopefully at some point in the season.
Maybe,
yep.
I think J.R. Reed, I had him with a pass breakup on 3rd down and a pass breakup on a 4th down as well.
Nice. Yeah,
there you go.
He looks solid.
Yeah,
another guy that you're like, yeah, if you had to play, like, it wouldn't be panic.
Yep. Nope. And he just could end up being cut from a numbers standpoint,
totally,
not because he can't play or traded for a 7th or something.
All right, anyone else?
No, but I do know what's trending up is DraftKings Sportsbook because they're trending up the amount of money that you can get. If you sign up right now, you will get a risk-free bet up to $1,000. That means if you laid down $1,000
on the under, like I told you to.
There we go. Or on the Broncos to cover the spread, or when you're bringing home the cash. Let's say you went with the Cowboys. Well, they're going to give you a risk-free bet back up to the amount of money that you bet in order to try to win that back. That's an awesome thing about that first risk-free bet. You can do it for $10, you can do it for $100, you can do it for $1,000, and they'll just give you that money back and a free bet to try to win that money back. And that's so cool, especially heading into football season. I am so pumped, guys, for football season to get going, and it's already got going over on DNVR bets with preseason. You guys handing out winning bets. So head to the App Store now, download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app now, and use promo code DNVR to get the risk-free bet up to $1,000. That's code DNVR over at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older, Colorado only. New customers only. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Quick betting note. Sometimes the book just knows. Like, a lot of the conversation at the tailgate, at least the betting conversation, was like, Broncos are 5-point favorites? Like, what's going on here? Doesn't that seem aggressive for a preseason game? Like, they were the heaviest favorites of the weekend, I think, from a preseason standpoint. It's just like, yeah, like Vegas just knew that, the Broncos are way better than the Cowboys when it comes to their backups.
What they didn't know, though,
yeah.
the over hit on the first 8 preseason games by an average of 10 points.
Wow.
They were off by an average of 10 points on those first 8 lines. And then they've obviously readjusted everything, but...
So Henry put his life savings into the over in the Broncos game.
No, I put it on the Broncos to win, and look where I am now.
That makes it more of a flex for me that I was telling everyone to take the under at the tailgate.
Yeah?
Yeah. It does. Also, Athletic Greens.
Yeah.
That's a great way to pick you up wherever you are. Actually, that might be a good move for me. Because I got to write when this is over. Maybe get a little Athletic Greens going. Because you don't want to have, like, coffee That's a bad idea. Or Red Bull. Another
That's
bad
a worse
idea.
idea.
Yeah, much worse. But like a nice little athletic greens get you going, get some nutrients.
I will
was eating
say-
those like pretzels and hot dogs and stuff.
Yeah.
I was pretty hungover this morning, and Athletic Greens helps with that as well.
yeah.
It gives you a nice little boost in the morning. Also, shout out to Nashville Bronco.
Mm-hmm.
Joey had us out for the Scotty McCree show yesterday, and it's always a ball. Like, we had so much fun. Zach notably not present, whatever, tough
Wow.
scene. But we were able to, persevere through without you being there and just
trolled me
have
a little.
Yeah, trolled you a little bit. Had a blast. I actually got to go on the tour bus for the first time, which was pretty sick. And we were just hanging out with those guys all night, like 10 out of 10.
Man.
And then Athletic Greens, took care of me this morning.
I can't wait for him to show us Nashville.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's
Hopefully
right.
you get invited.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Adaptogens.
We love this.
So go on over to athleticgreens.com/ a new thing I just remembered, and you can get 5 free travel packs.
What is it?
Well, I'm gonna keep talking while I look.
Okay.
Yeah, 5 free travel packs, some immune supporting vitamin D, and that's what happens if you go to athleticgreens.com/ Broncos. That one didn't change.
That didn't change.
Nope, still
Standard-
athleticgreens.com/ Broncos.
Standard operating procedure.
Something recently changed in one of these though.
All right.
Makes me a little paranoid.
All right. Let's hit some super chats here. Kale, what do we got for us?
Super chats. First one coming in from Mike
Mike.
Booner.
Oh.
Just for the London funding. He sent in another one that said, which bubble player secured a roster spot tonight with their performance? DNVR is number 1.
So like,
Matt Henningsen?
okay, yeah, it's a good one. It's like Kendall Hinton is now sharpied in. He was probably on, but
Sharp? We're going Sharpie?
I'm sharpied. I'm sharpie with Kendall Hinton.
As much as I want to be.
Still no.
Sharpie is serious.
Yeah, Sharpie is serious.
We don't take Sharpie lightly around here.
That's
Henry.
that's a diamond ring. You're not taking that puppy back when you put it on.
I like
Then
that.
you'd have to cross it out. I would say it's very close.
I
Okay.
think so too. Yeah.
99%.
And Matt Henningsen, I'm not ready to go Sharpie.
Oh, no.
I really like what he's doing.
No, but to the question of who was on the bubble who earned a roster spot tonight, I would say if there was a rankings board that was ever changing tonight, before it started, Matt Henningsen was outside of the 53, and I think he trended up into the 53 tonight. But
I like it.
that doesn't mean he's there for good. He
Yep,
could trend back
yep. I like it. And great question. And
That
good
would
for
be-
Matt
Yeah.
Henningsen.
up. Like, if the NFL wants to find ways to make themselves just even more money, the 53 board that just changes, it's almost like live odds for like DraftKings.
Yeah.
But like Matt Henningsen makes
Oh,
a play and he
wow.
like moves up to 53 and like everyone's like, oh, he's on.
We should do it.
That's gonna cost a lot.
Could
But-
you imagine if it's in the building though? Like it's
No, that's what I'm
actually
saying.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah,
Hunger
yeah,
Games
yeah,
type shit.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
That would be so good.
Some GM's gonna try that someday.
I don't think so, unless they're forced to. by the
Hundreds of
NFL.
years down the road.
Maybe.
No,
Sure.
I mean as like a motivational tactic.
Yeah.
Every
Potentially.
player on the team is
Yeah.
ranked from 1 to 90.
Wow.
Speaking of which, first cuts coming this week.
Oh.
5 players got to go.
Sorry, boys.
Yeah.
Okay, what else?
Coming in from G Vega, did Josh Johnson cook meth tonight?
Oh my god. A lot of people wanted to know what Josh cooked.
Josh Johnson in Sharpie?
Ooh,
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, I think
I
so.
think he was always in Sharpie, to be honest.
Yes.
What did Josh cook tonight?
Boy.
So what's something that starts terrible and finishes amazing?
Ooh, like a crab, because you gotta like crack it open and.
Oh my god, great one.
Yeah, that is good.
I like legitimately loathe having to crack crab.
Really? Yeah, I mean,
It's one of my least favorite things about like a nice meal.
I'm never unhappy while I'm doing it because I know I'm about to have crab.
Wow, that's a great.
But you are.
You're like you're the person who loves the first part of the road trip because it's like, hey, I know we're going somewhere dope.
Yes.
Like I'm not gonna complain.
Yes.
But then the
Trip
ride back is
yeah.
rough.
It actually is true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, crab is a big word though. It's not like king
it
crab
word?
No,
legs.
he served up some king crab legs.
He was good, but I mean, what more could you ask for him? The numbers he put up in half a game, sure. He did crab. It's not king crab, it's snow crab.
What more could you have asked for?
Exactly.
His first quarter was terrible.
Yep.
True.
Just like when you have like prickly crab claws
That is true.
digging into your hand while you're trying to use some tool
Yeah.
that doesn't even seem like it's that well built to try and crack it open.
Yeah.
Great one, Hank.
I'm gonna go back to Lucky Charms, but this time it's with heavy cream, so it's just even better at the end.
What?
Wow, I would never
Yeah,
consider
yeah,
that.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
have had heavy cream with your cereal?
No, I haven't, but I'm just imagining what it would be like.
How often do you imagine that?
Extra better, just delicious, thick, heavy
you've-
cream at the end.
Why wouldn't you? You're so weird. Why wouldn't you try it if you think it sounds so good?
Well, because in my head it sounds better than it probably is.
You could make like Lucky Charms whipped cream if you got like a whipper out after that.
That would be good. Yeah, now we're talking. Okay, we need to end this so I can go to my dessert.
Yeah.
Oh, what are you having for dessert?
Probably ice cream.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh,
To me-
I've got some moose
And
tracks at
water.
This might be. Is this a hot
yeah.
take? If I'm ranking desserts, ice cream is number one, and then
Yeah.
there's like 400 empty spots before you get
What
to
about
anything
ice
else.
In my
cream
club,
cake.
that's not a hot take. We're right there.
Ice cream cake.
No.
Well, in my world, ice cream cake is just ice cream. There's no cake with it.
But maybe like a layer
just-
of Oreo in there.
Yeah. Oh, no,
yes.
in Oreo crust. So what my mom does in the crust. It's just butter and Oreos.
That's fire. Like I love other desserts, but having like you have like a hot meal, maybe some spicy food, and then having ice cream after,
Yep.
just nothing can even
Yep.
touch it.
When someone makes a pie and they also have ice cream with it, I always get the smallest piece of pie because I feel so disrespectful being like, no, I'll just have the store-bought ice
Oh,
cream,
yeah,
not
give me
your
that
homemade
Dryers.
pie. Right. But and then you just kind of you cut the pie ups and you move it around so it looks like you ate it. Then you just eat the ice cream.
Wow, I mean, I'm still eating the pie for sure, but I'm making sure I have a scoop of ice cream with every bite.
Damn,
All
I want
right,
some ice cream.
All right, three more. Number of wide receivers to make the roster. Who all makes it? From Jake Rogers.
I'm going with 6 right now. I feel good about 6.
Jake Rogers. What's up, bud?
he's trying to see if he can get her off.
Right. You're going 6?
Yeah. And if I had to pick them right now, I say Jerry, Cortland, KJ, Kendall Hinton, Montrell. So there's one more. Yulene's specialty. I'll say it's still Seth Williams.
I think that's a good guess.
Yep, I like that.
Yep.
I like it.
I'd like to squeeze Jalen Virgil on there. He just keeps making plays where I'm like, oh, he's actually a guy. Yeah,
Practice squad.
trade.
Could be. He's gonna have to keep doing stuff.
By the way, I was Trinity Benson, like, not a starter for the Lions.
I'm shocked.
Let's see what's up with Trinity Benson.
He had a couple catches yesterday.
Oh, good
I
for
was
him.
watching.
Great
There
for
we go.
him.
Yeah, great for him.
What else?
All right, coming in from Mike Hawk. Broncos defense is legit as F. Browning is the star in the making. Our play calling was on point. New owner, new coach, new QB. Our future is bright.
Hell yeah.
There we
Love
go.
it. I was excited by some things that Baron Browning did too, but I'm like feeling the opposite of everyone else tonight.
About BB?
Yeah, I'm just like, they just told me he was dispensable essentially by leaving him out there for the whole game.
Yeah, or
Because he kind of is.
He kind of is in a weird, like, luxurious way. You
Yeah.
have so much depth.
Oh,
at that
no, we have to
position.
play Nick Benito.
I mean, yeah, just not against the run, please.
yeah, no, and it is interesting with him. I'm curious what they do moving forward. Do they continue to give him this treatment?
Also, Jonas, does that inspire any move back to inside? I don't think so, but
That
You
would be
gotta-
the wrong decision. now.
Yes. You got to put him somewhere and let him figure out what he's doing.
That would so be DeMarcus Walker.
oh gosh,
Oh, God.
I'll never forget when DeMarcus Walker had to gain a bunch of weight. That's the funny. Like, there's some funny training camp narratives that like get like. We see the lost weight one all the time, but when you get this guy gained a bunch of weight one, it's like, and it's a good thing narrative.
Right.
Like, I legitimately remember him being like, yeah, just like Mama's fried chicken. I was just crushing that all off season. I was like, I can't believe we're saying this is good.
right.
And then on brand, 2 food-related ones coming in to wrap us up from Jacob Weddle. The fudge strip in a DQ ice cream cake is almost untouched.
That's actually the ice cream cake I was thinking of. So I've got these coupons on Uber Eats. It's 40% off, but you have to spend at least $25. And sometimes when you're just like, not now.
Q-tips.
But then you have to like get like a milkshake or something, but that's not $25. Those cakes are $33,
There you go.
and so it's kind of perfect.
Yeah.
I haven't pulled the trigger, but one of these days.
I can't say I'm familiar with the fudge strip in the DQ ice cream cake.
I can say I'm very familiar
Yeah.
during my time working at Dairy Queen.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
I didn't know
I've
that.
made many of these.
What was your best blizzard that you made? Like when you were getting crazy.
The cotton candy one.
Oh,
come
of course.
on, come on. That's the best blizzard out there.
Worst
You go
taste.
extra cream, extra cotton candy pieces.
Big
too.
cream day.
Heavy cream trending up.
Oh, okay. And then lastly, coming in, great to see football in any capacity today. Also, just thought I'd point out there were like 40 Chick-fil-A bags in the performance nutrition room in the new locker room post-game.
Nice.
Oh, God.
Performance and nutrition. Nothing screams that like some Chick-fil-A.
I'll never.
Was that a big super chat, Gil?
That was $10.
Okay.
little 10 piece?
I thought I saw an extra 0 there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
We still appreciate it.
A 10-piece
Wait.
10-piece chicken nugs
Yes.
from Chick-fil-A?
I'll never understand the food that they eat. I
No.
mean,
But they're
billions.
served.
Yes, that's what
Yeah.
exactly. Billions of dollars in the organization. You just feel like every meal would be completely perfectly curated
Yeah.
to every single player's exact macros.
You would.
Yep.
Yep. No, Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A. Donuts in the locker room.
Yep.
Maybe Chick-fil-A is just for like the guys who are gonna get cut.
Like
Wow.
we joke and it's kind of become a meme that Nathan McKinnon is like really strict about what the players eat. Someone's got to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, and I'm happy that Nathan McKinnon did that for the Avs. Like, some of the stuff is like kind of funny. Like, oh, he wants chickpea pasta instead of regular pasta. Like, oh, maybe that's a little extreme. But like, I would have zero negative feelings if I found out that Russell Wilson like walked into the locker room and was like, get those donuts out of here.
Right. Yep. Yep.
Like,
Yep.
like, that's totally fair in my
Yep.
opinion.
Well, and see, Vaughn did that for himself. He was super healthy himself, but he didn't force that on other people.
Yeah, he did. Like, I think Shane Ray at one point was like using his nutritionist and stuff like that. And like, of course, they have nutritionists on the staff.
Yeah.
But Chick-fil-A,
Yep.
that's where.
They
By
have
the way, Chick-fil-A is
nutritionists.
amazing.
It
But
is.
I just-
It is. But the sauce has like 700 calories.
Yeah.
You would know.
Yeah, that's a bad idea.
One of the
It's
things
classic. It's every game.
one of the things that grosses my girlfriend out the most is there's one of my friends once ate a thing of Chick-fil-A sauce just straight, and now she can never think of Chick-fil-A sauce. She just thought it was the grossest thing in the world.
Huh.
She can't even think about it.
Can't even think. So anytime, here's when it really comes up: is do you ever get your mouth nice and fresh by just putting a little bit of toothpaste in it?
No, dude. That's what mouthwash is
You
for.
don't? No, I just take a little spink, and she's like, "Oh, that looks like Chick-fil-A sauce." But it just then you kind of coat your mouth with it.
Oh my
No.
god. No.
No.
I've done the only time I've ever done that before is when I was on a trip and brought toothpaste and just forgot a toothbrush.
Oh yeah.
You're
Did,
like,
did
you gotta
you clean
get
with
some-
the finger or the tongue?
Pause right there. Yeah, no, I was just like, yeah.
It's late.
Yeah, we've gone. We're almost to midnight,
I
so
know.
this is everything that's happening right now makes sense.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I only use toothpaste with a toothbrush. That's my rule.
Makes sense.
Dieting trick will end here.
Oh.
If you are like me and after every meal want ice cream,
Yeah.
but you're on a diet so you can't do that, if you have mouthwash, you will not want food anymore. And it gets the
you get the little sweetness.
Yeah, the dinner taste out of your mouth.
Yeah.
And you're not like craving chocolate or anything after you have mouthwash in your mouth.
Huh. That's a good point.
There you go.
Smart.
Wow.
Good stuff. Actually, final thing. Did your feelings about the Broncos on a grand scale change at all tonight?
I was hoping for a little more, like an altercation. I wanted to see like the meanness of that defense really come through one more time, and I guess like even a couple more big hits might have done it. But again, like these are the twos. That's as close as I can get, and I have to say no.
Playing. Yeah, no one was playing that brings the mean.
Exactly.
Tonight, but that's fair. You want to see that? I feel a little better because of the coaching staff.
Yep.
They showed that they were competent tonight.
I thought that was going to be my main thing is, like I told you, my positive overreaction was all about Nathaniel Hackett calling and designing plays.
There were a couple. Like there one in particular I think of where it's like the outside zone run one way, which means that you typically leave the end over here unblocked on the backside, and it's an RPO though, and so he can just hit the guy out there, or he can hand it off. And what happened was the guy just came clean right in the quarterback's face, and he's tried to throw it. And so there are like one or two of those. You're like, that play is going to be changed or taken out. But I mean, it's a lot better than not trying anything.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy to think of the wealth of knowledge that Nathaniel Hackett has about offensive football. Listening to the Pardon My Take interview, in there he's talking about his first 2 years on the job, or as an intern. He's like, I think I drew up 16,000 passing plays during that. Like, he had a straight up number on it.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah.
16,000.
8,000 a year. Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah.
Nice. Figure out which ones work.
So I'm really excited to see what he does with this offense. That's my big thing coming away from tonight. And I do feel good about the competency of the staff, or better, just because now you've seen him in a game. There wasn't like they felt like they were in control the whole time.
Didn't look confused on the sideline.
No confused look. I should have told Nathaniel Hackett that at the combine. There's one thing to avoid, like the plague. It is looking confused on the sidelines. Fans hate that.
Yes, seriously.
All right, well, that is going to wrap it up for us.
Before midnight. Maybe not.
No.
One came in right under the buzzer. Can we take a shot for the big win?
Yes, you can.
It's time to get the season started right.
You have our permission.
Our bar is not ready yet, sadly.
Yeah,
So
very
we
sad.
don't have a stash for it.
But as Hank said, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, you take one you take one for each of us too.
There we go.
Counting Kale.
Yeah.
Yes, and one for every Cowboys penalty.
Oh, no, don't do that.
Did you
Shots
see the
of
guy
water.
on Twitter last week? Just took 50 tequila shots. Guy bet him $1,000. He couldn't do it, and he just had to go bang, bang,
Just $1,000
bang.
for that?
He spent the whole next day in the hospital.
How much do you think the hospital bill was?
More than that.
More than
Oh,
1,000.
my
There's no
gosh.
scenario where you do that and don't end up in the hospital.
That happens. Like
So,
you can't
if
prepare.
you're gonna do that, you have to say hospital bill plus 1,000.
You said 50?
50.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Natural selection.
we're not gonna do that tonight.
Definitely
Take
not.
shots in our honor,
You
or
don't do that tonight either.
remind us of that after the first regular season win or the next win when we have a bar, and we'll make good on that promise.
There we go.
All right, that's gonna wrap it up for us. Hit us with a thumbs up on your way out. Those always really help us out. This has been fun. It is late. We're going to bed.